content influences decision-making on so many levels. Mr. Penfield mentioned that 56% of research is done online, social media, before your customers ever even engage with you. Content influences what you're going to eat tonight. You're going to go on Yelp.com and look at reviews and figure out where you want to eat. It influenced where you're sleeping tonight. You looked at Expedia.com maybe and looked at customer reviews. Maybe you went onto the hotel's website and saw what the photos looked like of the rooms, if they were reputable. It also influences purchasing, of course. What you're going to buy for your home, your office. Content influences us constantly. And for those who might have forgotten, Mother's Day is in 5 days, so you might want to toddle over to Amazon if you've forgotten about that. And it also influences where you're sitting today. You read about the Sales 2.0 conference, and you looked at reviews, and you looked at what other people have gotten out of it in the past. Why are you deciding to come here? So content in all its various forms, text, images, video, 3D, is a form of storytelling, and that's what we do at Veritas Group. We are a content marketing or digital marketing agency. We're located in Greenville, South Carolina, and we do have offices in France and in the UK. We do have a large multilingual division, so we produce content in multiple languages as well. And Veritas means in truth. That's Latin for in truth. And maybe the only Latin you might remember from college days is in vino veritas, in wine there is truth. And that's true. There's truth in wine, truth in content marketing, sometimes a little wine to do content marketing. But anyway you slice or dice it, we really do try to help our clients tell their stories with their unique voices. So they range, historically we've been in the hospitality and travel space, and we work with large companies in that space. But we've also added other verticals as well. Education, e-commerce, and heaven help us, manufacturing. But we love all those different verticals, some more than others, but we help them to reach their customers. And we do so because we have a global network, a large-scale content production. So we've got writers, editors, proofreaders, translators in all parts of the world, and we are able to work on large projects all at once. So 300 blog posts in 12 weeks, we've done that. I definitely have the gray hair to prove many of our large-scale projects. We ramp up very quickly and then ramp back down. We also do audit and strategy and strategic execution. Basically, those are big words to basically say we help companies figure out where they need to go with their web presence and their social media. And I know in one of the presentations earlier, it was mentioned that there's fear-based in what you're doing, and you're not looking at what's going on right now. And that's where we help our customers to kind of get over that fear, because we're used to doing that analyzing of the current landscape, much like a blueprint, looking at what the customer is doing now in their website and their social media, and being able to help them provide a blueprint to move forward, and it takes away that fear that comes with being a self-publisher. And so then we do the heavy lifting. So we get in there, and if we've recommended a new website or a social editorial calendar or a full new images or videos, we get in there and do the heavy lifting for our clients and help them to end up with a great product at the end that aligns with their objectives. And so in order to do that, with our particular product, being that we are in different time zones all over the world, and that we have a very customized product, and that each client could need something different. One might need 500 blog posts, but another one might need something a lot more boutique and customized, that's a new website or just a specific slice of social media. We really need our teams to collaborate. So the sales team has to do their job only by working with the operations team. And so, how do you get those two teams working together in a collaborative environment And that's where we really, we began working with Paperless Proposal about 2 years ago, and we fell in love with it because it enabled our teams to work in a Google Drive environment in real time. So no matter what part of the world they are residing in, they're able to collaborate in real time in a Google Drive environment, and all of our documents are stored in one place. So we are able to have everything in one spot, and the interface is very, very easy to use. You know, in order to, I'm not in sales, as it were. I'm in the operations side of the business. And so I really had to convince a lot of our sales team to use this product, Paperless Proposal, to put all the proposals and all of our marketing together. And it was such an easy interface to use that we got very little, if any, pushback from using this, because once they got in there, the product sold itself. They could use it. They didn't have to go take tutorials. They didn't have to go do videos. It was very easy. It also provides a space to house all of your marketing materials. And so you don't have any rogue salespeople using 2008's marketing material. They're all using the latest and the greatest information, and you're able to connect with your prospects in a way that truly meets their needs, but yet also showcases what our company can do for them and to help them move forward. So we have PDFs of all our writer bios in different verticals. We work with finance, we work with healthcare, we work with manufacturing and hospitality and travel. So we've got all of that there. So the proposals are very consistent, much like the sunset. They're very consistent in that they follow the same format, but there's also creativity within that consistency. So if you're pitching to the hospitality, you can pull from case studies and writer bios and past projects that are hospitality specific. But if you're working with someone in healthcare or maybe staffing, we can give our salespeople the ability to pull case studies, bios, stats on items related to that particular industry. So at the end of the day, Paperless has enabled us to be able to help our customers tell their stories, that unique storytelling, that publishing of that content. And it's, from a process standpoint, enabled us to be very successful. It has about 50%, made us 50% more accurate in our proposals. So, but by the same token, it's enabled us to increase our speed by about 40%. So we're spending less time on proposals, and we're having better results on accuracy. So what that enables us to do, which is the real benefit, is we've had about a 30 to 35% increase in add-on sales, because we work with the large hotel chains in the United States. There's only so many of those that we can work with. And so to get repeat business by enabling our sales staff to set up the expectations for what the client is going to receive, and then executing on that, because our operations team was so tightly involved with developing the proposal, it's enabled us to have repeat business that we would not have possibly been able to have without that process. So overall, very, very successful part of our processes, both on operations and sales.
Well, thank you. How long does it take to transition from the old way of doing things to integrating that into that new process and teaching everybody in sales how to use it?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. We definitely did institute a policy that basically we were moving to paperless and everyone was required to use this system. We said that they could choose not to use it, but we could also choose not to pay commission, and that didn't go over so well. So, once we kind of said, hey, this is where we're going, we really let them know the problems that it was going to solve. Instead of having an us-you environment with sales and operations, it enabled people to work together and also to be quicker, which the salespeople definitely wanted to be faster, and they wanted to be more accurate, of course, because it sets up expectations. So I would say it was a very seamless process for us. We basically just had to give people their logins, and we created an internal document that was a training document although Paperless has plenty of training documents, we created one that they were used to seeing because we do training documents for our salespeople. Pretty much did that, and I just regularly encourage people to use the new features and keep up to date with it, so pretty seamless.
And one more quick one. How did customers respond?
Yeah, our customers have been very responsive. I think that they really do appreciate that you can have all of your information from us in one link that's a URL, as opposed to download 3 different documents that's attached to an email. And the salesperson might respond and say, I sent you the wrong one, use this one instead, because that does happen. Whereas many times we've actually been like, oh shoot, we need to go add XYZ, and we'll go in and do that, and the client has not even received the proposal because we can tell when they receive it. So we're able to add some quick updates if we need to at the last minute, because it's documented as to when they open the proposal.
Thank you. Barbara, can you share your story?
Absolutely. Let's see. So I'm with Securitas, and I have to poll the audience here. How many people have ever heard of Securitas? Wow, I'm impressed. That's great, because I always say Securitas is probably one of the largest companies most people haven't heard of. Securitas is the global leader in security services. We provide various physical and system security. And a lot of people don't realize that we're a $3 billion organization in the US and have close to 100,000 employees. So I'm impressed. Boy, my marketing must be working. That's the end of my presentation, I guess. Everyone knows me. In any case, a little bit about our sales organization at Securitas. Securitas itself is what they call a decentralized organization, meaning that we are broken into individual units that work autonomously. However, we share different resources. And with that, we have about 65 direct sales managers and over 600 account managers who are also out selling on a regular basis. And with that, we do thousands of proposals every year. Our market consists of the top 1,000 companies out there. We have 80% of the top 1,000 as our existing clients. As you can imagine, providing security today, there's relatively no company or organization, whether it's a small shop on the corner or a large company, that doesn't need security. I guess you would equate it to the old phone. Everybody needs one. But in any case, when we're selling in that market, and it's such a diverse space, whether it's a hospital or a campus environment or a technology company, as Aubrey talked about as well, communicating with the client becomes very streamlined to what is specific for them. So very quickly, I wanted to talk about the cost of proposing because we spend a lot of time as sales professionals, whether we're sales leaders or we're actually out in the field selling, very much on the front end of a sale, trying to customize and understand our clients and to be a resource to those companies. Specifically in security, we do that often. We need to understand what that goal is and then present our proposal. But when you're dealing with 15 to 20 vertical markets and the size of the business varying, does a template really help? So I spent all this time, all this money, having my sales professionals meet with you, and then when we go to propose to you, we give you a generic template. Many of my prospects and clients in the past just took that and threw it out the window and said, they never really listened to me. And isn't that our job as sales professionals, to actively listen and to build that reputation and relationship? I listed a few things here on the board that I found were problems and cost my organization and my team money. Frankly, because we were unable to do a few things. we were unable to produce proposals in a timely manner. So if I wanted to customize something specific to a college campus, it would take time for either my business development manager or a coordinator, someone to sit down and customize that specifically to match that vertical market and to pull that data together, because there really wasn't a good engine to bring all of the different content in one place. Once we developed it, and I'm sure many of you experienced this, you would have to deliver it to the client. And sometimes that's hard copy, sometimes it's a link, sometimes it's various mediums. But you deliver it, and then you'd wait a couple of days or a week, and you'd follow up, and you're wondering, did they get it? Did they read it? What's their problem? And you're sending the infamous email, if you have any questions, did you have any concerns? I love that. It just repeats itself. And were you really working with the real buyer? You think you were. You're not really sure. All of these things cost money. They cost money because they take time away from selling to prospects who are willing to buy. It takes time because, again, most of us in sales, I don't know about anybody here, but I feel like I work 168 hours a week. But we all do have other lives and are trying to balance that as well. So we're often up late at night doing paperwork because during the day we're out meeting with our clients and prospects. So all of this former way of doing a proposal cost quite a bit of money. So actually ran into Lawrence and the team at Paperless, and I wanted to just do a call out to Zeb if I could. He's here in the audience, and working with Zeb, who's done miracles for our organization, and good thumbs up.
Checks in the mail.
In helping us to move to the next level. So what does Paperless really do? I would like to say the best thing it does is it drives customer engagement. It helps my team to be more effective and efficient. And the first thing out of the gate we experienced in using Paperless is that we actually had time savings of over 500%. So what does that really mean? That means what used to take 72 hours for admins and business development and account managers to produce were shortened to 15 minutes, an hour. They were doing it, or they do it today, from their iPads at Panera Bread when they go in for lunch. Free Wi-Fi. It's that simple. They're able to customize it specifically to the size of the customer, the interest of the customer, only create content that is important to that individual customer. They can also, one of the things we found to be very exciting is we were able to do live video. So instead of doing executive summaries, what we've moved to is doing video feeds where we would record ourselves stating the concerns of the client and how we are approaching that within our written content or proposal. Additionally, the analytics and tracking. So you remember I talked a little bit about the black hole and things go into the black hole? Well, we never knew where things went, and with Paperless, we get an immediate text. And this actually happened to me the other day because, I might be the sales leader, but you can never take the sales away from me. So I was out selling, and I was talking with an individual, and this is how easy it is. I created my own proposal, and I actually sent it along, and the individual went in and checked it. Immediately, I got a text to my smartphone, and I was able to recognize that he read it. So I immediately logged on and found out that he spent about 5 seconds reading my proposal, went right to the price page. I immediately knew what he was interested in.
And what was that?
My service, no. I should have just called him on the phone and told him the rate. But in any case, I was able to see that. And interestingly enough, I said, okay, I felt that my price was appropriate. And, I followed up a little bit and never heard from him. Well, a little while later, I get another text. He was back in the proposal again. And I was able to call him up on the phone and said, I see that you still have the proposal. Did you have more questions? So I was able to engage with him more readily and focus on what his interests were. And he needed more information, and I was able to get that. That is such a time saver, and it created engagement and helped build relationship with that specific prospect. Again, the key, and we heard it all today, is real time. All of this is happening in real time. And along with real time, the system also allows my customers to actually accept my proposal. So they can actually press a button and accept the proposal, and the next thing you know, we're off securing them. So I just want to share some of the results that we've seen. 150% increase in proposal opportunities, and I probably lowballed that a little bit in case somebody wanted to go and tell my boss what I was doing. But in any case, what does that mean? It means that through this system, I am gaining efficiencies that are creating more time for my people to be out in front of other prospects and selling. It's exciting for them. The system is fun, so dropping and dragging and sending links and doing videos is actually a better experience for my sales staff. They enjoy it. They're not worrying, did I spell something right? Did I misspell a name? All of it is connected, if you will, with their CRM system and other systems as well. And the long and the short of it is we're more profitable because we're able to get out into the field more and use that time more efficiently.
So a quick follow-up question. People don't buy what they don't understand. And you had a bullet point earlier that said prospect confusion was in the way. So how does paperless proposal help clarity?
It actually helps clarity because when we were sending out a template before, we were just sending out generic. So we would put out something that may cover the broad company and what each aspect of product or service we had available. So the client was often confused, which one applies to me? What part of this product or solution applies to me? And with paperless, we're able to break down into individual components those products and services and just bring in simply what applies to that prospect or that buyer. And one thing I did forget to mention, and I want to make sure I mention, is that not only does it relevate with that buyer, but if that prospect decides to send it to somebody else in their organization, I know immediately. So if they're not the buyer and they're sending it to procurement or somebody in legal or another individual in the buying chain, I know immediately. And I'm able to capture that and put it in my CRM. So I've gained more essential data about that customer.
Thank you. Jeff?
Well, I won't do as good a job as these ladies. They've done such a good job, so I'm actually done. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so we'll jump ahead here. I'm Jeff Wolf, Vice President of Sales for One Call Now. We're based in Troy, Ohio, which is just north of Dayton. And if this is the United States, Ohio's here in the armpit, and we're right there. So that's where I'm from, sorry. And I flew from here to here, so I had to wake you guys up a little. So like she did, anybody heard of One Call Now? If you have, raise your hand. I know one has. All right, so if you guys, first thing is, if you received a call during a presidential election, that wasn't us. So what we do, quick example is, this has been a very bad winter. If you have kids in school, if you receive an automated phone call from the superintendent or a principal, that's what our system does. We delivered over 60 million messages in January alone due to inclement weather. But we go further than that. That's just a very simple use case of how our system runs. We actually do school closings for education. We send out messages, routine messages for the nonprofit space, which includes any type of church or religious affiliation, or like Red Cross. We also do business continuity. You guys are familiar with Disney? We do calls for them as well as some other companies. And emergency notifications. If there's a water boil alert in your area, your community may send out an alert to your phone. That would be our system as well that does that type of call. This kind of gives you a snapshot of just some of our customers and who we service and uses our service today. We do everything from the Boy Scouts to Fortune 500 companies, so it's a pretty cool solution. I've been there for about 5 years, and it's been very great. So that was my overview. We have over 35,000 groups. We touch about 55 million Americans in some shape, form, or another. We're all web-based, smartphone-based, even old traditional copper lines. However you want to send a call, we give you guys the ability to do it. And the beautiful thing about our revenue model is we have over a 90% retention rate. So like Lawrence's business, our customers love our service, and it grows year over year organically just from the referral and the service we can provide. Just kind of a breakout of my sales team. Roughly about 28 people on my sales team that are organized into different verticals. We have a business vertical, which you think anything that goes with business, business to customer, business to business type calling, we do that. Education I covered from K-12 to higher education, and the nonprofit space, which, religious affiliations and churches. So at our shop, I have 18 direct salespeople in the Troy office, and out of that, this is kind of our sales 2.0 list that we use. Top of the list is paperless proposals. It's been very instrumental helping us to be in front of our customers at better image, give them a better quality proposal, and actually makes their buying decision a lot easier. We also use NetSuite as our CRM tool, HubSpot for analytics through our website, TimeTrade for scheduling. We're like they said, that one of the biggest challenges we have is connecting a sales rep with a prospect. So if we have a tough time reaching them, we say, here's our link. What's good for your schedule? Schedule some time to talk with me. We also use ClearSlide. It's a tool you can use for outbound marketing campaigns. GoToMeeting, which you guys are familiar with, and Zoom Info, which many of you use as well if you're prospecting. So what were our challenges? Why did we go out looking for a proposal tool? The biggest challenge we had is we had many different types of proposal, whether it was a Word document, an Excel file, some things did an Access, some things were even handwritten and just typed in Word. So I had to bring some form of resemblance of some formality, some professionalism, some version controls. I had legal T's and C's issues, and so I had to find a tool that would very easily allow me to bring this tool into one so that my entire team could use this across verticals as well as easily update our marketing collateral. Because this is a tool that our marketing team uses in addition to my sales team. The nice thing is it's the way the file structure is built, you can take all your marketing collateral, put it into paperless proposals, and then attach it to every proposal document that goes out. And that's pretty key, and I'll show you here in a few minutes on a slide that just by having the right material in the document presented in a professional manner has actually helped us increase our close rates. And I got some statistics to go over on that. But really, paperless proposals have done a terrific job for moving our organization along. So the first thing, I think the biggest thing that we really liked, my sales team liked, is email. She alluded to earlier, Barbara did, about when a prospect opens up the email, we get an alert via email or a text on our smartphone. The really cool thing is how it is today if you're a salesperson, by the time they hit you, they've already checked you out and 3 of your competitors. So really your ability to really grab their attention and to get them excited about your product is very narrow. When you try to reach out to them, you have unlimited access to their voicemail. We all know that. It sucks. So how do you speed up that sales cycle? So the cool thing is when you get notified, hey, they're looking at this document or they forward us on to someone else in the organization, I always have my reps call in the moment and say, hey, just call in and follow up on a proposal. It's a matter of fact, but you're hitting them at the time where it's relevant, which makes that conversation even more engaging, and that's really key to this whole process. It's almost a social aspect of it, is how do you connect with your buyer at the right time, and this is one way you help bridge that gap. The e-sign piece is instrumental as well. If you hit the prospect at the right time, they're ready to make a buy, let's accept the electronic signature, boom, it's in our system, we clock an order, and I'm on to the next prospect. So it's really helped speed up our sales process. So time savings, what used to take one of my reps 20 minutes can be done in 4 minutes or less. It can be done faster than that depending on what vertical. I do have some sales that happen in a one-call close where we don't need a proposal. I also have extended sales cycles that take 9, 12, 18 months. But it's very instrumental that my reps be able to log into the CRM system with seamless logins to the Paperless proposal. Because what Aubrey had mentioned before is, when we bring a CRM tool in-house, you have to use it 100%. It's a requirement of my sales reps is whenever I bring something in, you have to use it. If not, I promote you to the street. I'm not kidding. I'm kidding. I don't really mean that, but I'll promote them to another company is what I do. You hiring? No, I'm just kidding. So anyhow, the cool thing about all this is the close ratio. We went from a 22% close rate to 37%. On our business, that's about a $400,000 increase in sales orders and net new bookings. That was instrumental in actually helping me achieve my number next year. It's just that time savings, the professionalism, the aggregation of all the information in one source was what really helped us. And this is actually a screenshot, I didn't mock this up, from one of our prospects from NetSuite. And they said, thank you, the proposal was done very well. It's going to help me make a decision tonight at our board meeting. So that says it right there. When I have feedback from a prospect that says this tool kicks ass, this is the tool to have. I'm not just saying that because Zeb and Lawrence is here, and I apologize if I offended anybody. It's a really awesome tool, and I believe in it. So that's why I'm here.
Well, thank you. We're glad you're here.
Yes.
Let's open it up for questions from the audience.
So I understand there are building blocks and PDFs you drag into the proposal, but there are always some things you need to customize around scope, timeline for that proposal. Can you still do that with this tool?
Absolutely. There's a feature that lets you do what they call a local edit. So we can easily download the document and update or change whatever we need to, and then load it up again.
And I'm sorry, hold on. There's another, the fact that it's in Google Drive is really cool because we have internal documents that they're labeled with a little I that has a slash so no one else can see it except us. And within our different products, we have pricing templates that we have put together so you can just zip in there, and if it's a 500-word project, it's X. If it's 200 words, it's Y. If it's in French, it's this. In German, it's this. And all that pricing is right there at their fingertips, and they can quickly calculate through using an internal document that's still it's one of the building blocks, but nobody ever sees it. And we're assured of that because it's got that little slash through the I. It's a private doc.
My question is, if the customer gets the proposal and opens it up and immediately gets a call from the sales rep, at some point they're going to be onto that. Does that turn them off at all?
We've been using the tool for about 2.5 years, and I have not had one complaint. Because that was my concern is, we're going to hit these guys, we're stalking them. It's like we're following them on LinkedIn, now we're hitting them on Paperless proposals, and really it hasn't been an issue for us. We haven't had anything at all. And actually, the prospect's saying, I was just looking at your proposal, this is great timing. So it actually has been a very good benefit. It's true.
All the way in the back.
In a culture that's not now focused on graphics and visual images and info points and all that type of thing, what is the role of graphics? Do you use photos and video and other types of tools like that? Do you feel it enhances the process?
I don't use video because I would scare prospects away, and neither does my team. I'm just kidding. I think, Aubrey, you guys had do some video?
Yeah, we use the graphics features pretty well. We definitely like having all of our uploadable PDFs and a link to our website because we are a marketing agency, so we rely on graphics and images of our 3D. We can put anything, a lot of different file types you can put as the building blocks that go in there. So we use those features. And the web feature, you want to talk about the video because y'all use that, right?
Right. We use the video in two ways. So we do custom video where our sales folks can actually take a video themselves off their smartphone and upload it and put it right into the proposal itself, so it's very personable. Hi Joe, thanks for seeing me last week, here's the proposal. Sometimes they do it at the office, at their desk. It's pretty easy. The other thing is we do have video clips. So our organization has video clips demonstrating the product or service, which we also put in and can track, have been watched or viewed. And that's just an easier, simpler way, a quicker way other than print.
One more question.
How does this integrate with Salesforce.com, if at all?
Ooh, that's like my favorite topic.
Go ahead.
It integrates, so it's great. Basically, there's just another link in Salesforce that you just click on, and it takes you right into Paperless, and you're able to move forward. It will actually transfer over all the contact information as well, so it's very effective and efficient.
And I'd like to add one more thing. I'd like to add that their tech team is really good because we have some custom softwares that we use, and they will, for an extra fee, but it's very reasonable, they will customize and pull in that data from Paperless just like they will for Salesforce, but to custom. Ours is a Ruby application, and they are able to do that. We haven't done it yet, but they're able to do that.
I was just a bit curious. I understood from the Paperless that you could forward the link and see how long they view a proposal and see who they forwarded to. But you said you use ClearSlide also. It seems to do, I think, almost the same thing. Do they complement each other, or is there some overlap there?
We actually use ClearSlide strictly for more of a marketing outbound campaign tool. We don't use it for the other side of it. I'm not real familiar with it either, so I can't comment on that. Yeah.
Yes.
So when you mentioned about you can track in the customer where they look at a document or forward, is there any privacy issue about that?
Larry, can you speak to that? Are there privacy issues?
Sure, Gerhard.
No,
Well,
Snowden's in Russia still, so I don't think there's any problem with privacy.
Steal the clicker from you. No, there's no privacy issue because they're actually hitting your link. So it's no different than them going to a website. There's not an issue there. You're not going into their computer.
And on that same note, when it does get forwarded to somebody else, can you tell who it's forwarded to?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And how long they spent.
So I just have to say, I know we're short on time, so I just want to, first of all, thank everybody, Gerhard and the panel. I got to tell you, this is what gets me out of bed in the morning. It's like so exciting to hear clients speak about your product the way that they've spoken about our product. I mean, I cannot thank you guys enough for all the exciting input. So that being said, I want to let everybody know we're going to be giving away 2 Kindle Fire HDX units. So before the end, when you leave here today, and these are amazing, exponentially disruptive devices. They have webcams, they've got email, you can surf the web on them, and of course there's a reader, So they're really cool devices. We're going to be raffling them off. There's going to be some fish bowls in the back of the room. Just throw your card in there. We're going to be doing a raffle today at 5 and tomorrow at 1. So you just need to be present for the raffle, and you can win the Kindle HDX. So this whole concept about, everybody's talking about exponentially disruptive technology. We heard Gerhard talk this morning about the chess and what happened to that gentleman. But and the whole concept of exponential, well, what is it really exponentially disruptive technology? Let's use the smartphone as an example. We've all used to carry around, obviously before the invention of the smartphone, multiple devices. And chaotically, we'd have to switch between them. That's no longer the case anymore. It's a great example of exponentially disruptive technology. Similarly, we find people are typically either providing hard copies to their client, or what they're doing is they're emailing attachments, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, PDFs, and links to a website, links to a video, links to a Dropbox. And Dropbox is just a link to a bunch of attachments that you have to download. So what we've done is we moved from chaos to clarity. You send your client one link, have an amazing viewer that seamlessly integrates all your Word, PowerPoint, your Excel documents, your PDFs. Your websites are all integrated. All your multimedia, client testimonials, corporate capability videos, everything seamlessly fits right into our viewer. Really, really super powerful. One link, all of your content. I have to say, that is exponentially disruptive. 500% decrease in the amount of time spent. It's a 500% increase in productivity with a $3.3 billion organization. We've rolled out with Securitas between the US and Canada. They're now looking to roll us out in the UK, Netherlands, and Europe. Just amazing, really exciting. 150% increase in proposal opportunities. Imagine what that would do to your business. What if you could be wrong less often? How cool would that be? And I love what Jeff had to say. He talked about it going from 27% or 22% to a 37% close ratio. Calculate that out. That's a 68% increase in their sales. Imagine what that would do for your business. We move you from chaos to clarity. We're going to combine all that content in that one link. And then what we're going to do is we're going to also provide you very powerful analytics. You're going to know exactly the number of times and the amount of time spent on the documents that you present to your client. You're also going to know who viewed that document, how much time they spent on each of those documents in that proposal or information package that you sent out in your content. What order did they view it in? And you're going to know who it was shared with, who it was emailed to, who it was shared with. We're tracking all of that information. Think about the power of those analytics being the veritable fly on the wall. Who wouldn't like to know that information? Super powerful. So at the end of the day, what we're going to do is we're going to move you from this chaos to clarity. One link, all your content in a seamless viewer, super powerful, paperless proposal, exponentially disruptive technology. I thank you guys for coming to the presentation today. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.